You know what you can call a devastating friendship?
Oh, God, I feel like I have an idea.
Yeah, it's a dangerous alliance. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, whatever time of day you are watching. This is the Virtual Wrestling YouTube channel. I am storyteller Alex Braddock. Joining me as always.
Just the camera guy.
Come on, man. You're more than just a camera guy.
I also edit, I guess.
Yeah, you're getting there. Yeah, you're making your rounds. Don't worry.
Making towns, brother.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are coming fresh off of WrestleMania weekend and week. The Friday that you are seeing this, the SmackDown after will be airing with per vignette to debut. But we're not here to talk about that. We are here to talk about the scores based off of our predictions for WrestleMania 41. And oh, buddy, is it a treat.
That was definitely in the pantheon of WrestleManias. It was definitely a WrestleMania.
It was a WrestleMania, that's for sure. Great main events.
Yeah, great main events. And some other matches.
Decent matches, and then some good matches.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say there was a bad match.
I don't think there was a bad match. I think it was a lot of, like, B and C. Like, if you give star ratings any credence, I think it was a lot of 3.5s. Like, matches that were not bad.
Yeah.
But they were, like, I don't know. I think that first night felt like I was watching a really good Raw.
Yeah.
And then a WrestleMania main event broke out.
Yep.
Take from that what you will.
Folks, we typically do scoreboards down at the bottom. What we're going to do is at the end of night 1, we're going to give final scores with the scoreboard. At the end of night 2, we're going to give final scores on the scoreboard. And then we'll talk about those scores at the end of it all. But let's get started with night 1. Night 1, none other than Jey Uso versus Gunther. Buddy, how did we feel about the match before we get into what actually happened? How do we feel now that we are 4 days removed?
I think I would just like to say fire, internet, eat. If you watch the press conference,
oh, buddy
was feeling oozy. But
Buddy was feeling oozy.
I thought, like, I really enjoyed the match. I was not a massive fan of the tap out, but seeing what we saw on the Raw after, I became a fan of it. But in the moment, I remember thinking, like, he just ate 3 finishers. Did you really need to go into a submission?
Yeah.
But also not a story that I've been following, like, beat for beat. So, like, I thought it was a fun match.
Yeah, that's valid. I would agree. I don't know if the tap out finish was good, but so far 2 major losses for Gunther have been tap outs with the naked choke that he uses. So I can't complain.
Right. I mean, the psychology's there.
But Uso takes it. Dylan guessed correctly. So Dylan has 1, I have 0. Like I said, we'll figure out the scores after. Next was none other than Rey Mysterio. I mean, yeah. I did it on purpose. It was supposed to be Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano, which, because of an ankle injury, ? We don't know if it's legit or not, because Rey seemed to be walking fine on his ankle for all the Mania press. So it got switched around.
Like 3 different things that it was, and I'm like, either way, he would still be in some pain.
Yeah. It got switched around so that Rey Fenix challenged El Grande Americano.
Which
Great
I'm not
to see
mad at.
Phoenix on a Mania stage. It was a decent Lucha Libre match.
I think so.
We saw Americano do like a reverse 540, I think is what it was. It was great. It was awesome. We were thinking about making it null and void because of the change of person, but we all guessed the same person, so it doesn't matter. We said Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio didn't win that match, so it doesn't matter.
Moving on,
folks. Jade Cargill versus Naomi. We both picked Jade. Jade took it. And a match that was better than we thought it would be.
I will say, my criticism from Jade from day one was always just that, like, she's got the look, she's got that aura, she's got that star power. She's got everything.
Yeah.
She just wasn't, to me, like, compelling when she started actually wrestling.
Yeah.
And I think that's the best she's ever looked, and I'm just taking that match in and just loving it. I was like, man, this is what she needed. Like the pieces are fitting together, and you've got a potential star for years to come.
Yeah, crazy stupid powerbomb spot and all.
Yeah,
Because that wasn't the finish. So what's worse than picking up dead weight and putting your finish on him?
The old Ibushi.
Next, we got Fatu versus LA Knight.
Yeah.
With Fatu picking up the win. We both picked Fatu. We said if there wasn't stipulation on the match, then Knight probably wasn't taking it. It was great to see Fatu finally get his moment at Mania.
Mm-hmm.
You've made great points of seeing him on the Indies, and now he's on the grandest stage of them all, winning the title.
I mean, in a relatively short amount of time. I think
Yeah.
2021, 2022, I was watching him face Schlack.
Right.
It's just like, now he's beating LA Knight for the U.S. title.
Right.
I mean, the way that these things can pick up is unreal.
Absolutely. We even got to see Haku.
Yeah,
Hop the
hopping the barricade. And who's going to stop him?
Correct. I mean, nobody's going to stop Haku. But I feel like Fatu shook his hand and was like, "Get out." Because the
Don't
only
Bob
person that's
Cardona
going to
me.
tell him to get out is Fatu. So
Don't Bob Cardona me. This is my moment.
right. Fatu picks up the win. It was a decent match for the U.S. title. I was surprised. There was catching BFT, which I didn't think was going to happen, and
Boy.
it looked rough from one angle, but amazing from another one. Welcome to camera work.
That's the importance of camera work and editing, folks.
Indeed. Next up was the War Raiders versus the New Day. I feel like I just wrote these down in a certain order. I don't think this is actually the order that they were aired in. War Raiders versus the New Day. New Day picks it up. I picked the New Day.
And
I didn't think that was going to be a thing. That match was the okayest tag team match that I've seen. This is one of those ones that was just decent.
it was fine. I as much as I love the New Day, that was, like this heel run they're on is interesting, but it's not the best thing I've seen out of them.
I mean, I think their heel work is great. I just think the match, I don't remember anything that happened in that match other than the New Day winning and Kofi having crazy eyes.
That's the thing. I remember them winning, Kofi having the crazy eyes. I remember seeing their logo when they came out had three-headed unicorn, and one of them was dead.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh man, that was amazing. And then just the rest of the match happened, and I was just like, I'm still thinking about how cool that putting that on the gear as that dig at E it was as heel work.
Yeah.
Match was fine.
Yeah.
Kofi's crazy eyes were epic.
Yeah, it was strange.
He looked like that wax figure of Triple H they had at Access or
Maybe
whatever
that's
they
what
call
he
it
was
now.
going for. Maybe that's what he was going for. But I picked up the pick on the New Day. And next we got an absolute slobber knocker. Semi-main event.
Bloody.
Charlotte Flair versus Tiffany Stratton. My God.
Remember when I said
someone was professional.
Remember when
and
I
someone
said
was something else.
there's not a history in the wrestling business of people going into business for themselves not going well. It didn't go well.
It did not.
But not for the person I kind of wanted it to go wrong for.
Yeah.
Charlotte beat up on Tiffany Stratton, and to Stratton's credit, right out of the gate when they start trading strikes, Charlotte starts popping her and Tiffy rolls over, and she was putting her soul behind those strikes coming down. And that's how we're starting. This isn't gonna magically resolve itself.
Right. Well, I think everyone knew that the real life heat was there.
Oh yeah.
Especially after that promo package on SmackDown that a lot of people can't see anymore. But no, it was an okay match. I think if both women didn't have the heat off of that promo package, didn't have the expectation of Charlotte being Charlotte, I honestly think if we had the 2018 Charlotte Flair versus nowadays Tiffany Stratton, that match would have been absolutely beautiful.
I think if they didn't have that heat, I think it would have been a better match, but a more forgettable match.
Yeah.
I think what made this so memorable is the fact that you had just so much heat, so much hatred, and then I think the visual of after Tiffany wins and she's holding the belt up. She's got the like blood in her teeth, and she's got like her forehead bruised and her lips swelling up. And it's like you've made a moment that she looks like a star.
Yeah.
Because she looks like she's been through a fist fight, which she had been, and she's still retaining over what some people, correctly or incorrectly, will say is one of the greatest women's wrestlers of all time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, how much more of a star-making performance can you ask for?
Not much. We both picked Tiffany on that one.
Check the watch.
I mean, yeah,
it's Tiffy
look,
time,
it's
baby.
Tiffy time, bro. Long may she reign. The Barbie doll entrance was kind of okay.
I kind of liked it, man.
Yeah.
I thought it was, that's a WrestleMania entrance to me. Like, give me something different.
Yeah.
The screens were pretty cool.
Yeah, the hologram boxes, they were nice. Let's move on to the main event. Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and CM Punk in what I was not expecting to be a great main event. And my God, did they take it and run with it.
Man, there was storyline all over that thing.
All over. If it wasn't obvious, spoilers. Paul Heyman doing the I'm a friend of CM Punk, but I'm also the wise man of Roman, in order to just screw both of them at the end.
It was perfect.
10 years after the heist of the century, the screw job of the century comes around. Like, just come on.
It was perfect. Because yet again, Seth Rollins, for the third time, screwed Roman Reigns in the main event of WrestleMania. Death, taxes, Seth putting a chair across Roman's back. The only constants in this life.
Indeed.
Unreal.
Yeah, and to have CM Punk in the main event, to have that big push that he so desperately wanted.
He got his mane, he got it living color, it was this awesome moment.
Yeah, no, it was great. And because of that, Dylan being Dylan, picked Seth Rollins because
I'm a fan of the visionary.
He's a revolutionary. I picked CM Punk, which means I did not get a point off of that. But we have decided to hold off a technicality. Technically, in the video, I said I would give myself a point if Paul Heyman screwed both CM Punk and Roman Reigns and joined Seth Rollins. We are not giving myself that point. For content. Anyway.
For the content.
Final scores are none other than 5-4 at the end of night one. Buddy, we're just getting started.
Oh, yeah.
Night two, ladies and gentlemen. None other than Paul versus AJ. Logan Paul, AJ Styles. My God. I can't call it a train wreck because it was an okay match. But, it's just Logan Paul getting carried by AJ Styles.
It was exactly what I thought it was going to be all the way through.
Yeah.
It was like, we've got Logan does all this cool flashy stuff. He has no real understanding of putting the match together.
Yep.
But so we put him in there with a veteran. They tell an interesting enough story. He does his part, and they come out with a solid enough match. And like I picked Logan to win, and it made my blood boil to say it. But it happened exactly how I thought it would.
Yep. Logan Paul picks up the win with Karrion Kross. Some kind of interference, but not really. He took the brass knuckles from Logan and kind of messed around with AJ, but
he's holding the brass
hopefully
knuckles.
That's a story.
He's holding the brass knuckles to AJ and says, "Alan, do the right thing for all of us."
Yeah.
And let me tell you, I have never agreed with a heel more in my life.
Yeah.
Just do the right thing for all of us.
Yeah. I haven't agreed with a heel more, especially after that promo that he cut. Buddy, Killer Kross coming back, homies. But Logan Paul picks up the win, making Dylan ahead 6-4 in the weekend. I'm going to keep updating the scores. I'm not going to give you a scoreboard, but I'm going to keep saying them out loud because content. I've already forgotten the order of the night, but I'll go ahead and I say the women's triple threat opened the night.
Yep.
Rhea Ripley, Io Shirai, and Bianca Belair. Phenomenal triple threat.
Unreal.
Phenomenal triple threat. Just when you thought the other one was like the third man was out, they'd come in and break the pin.
The
proper tension.
The whole story of Io, like they're forgetting about me.
Yep.
They are so focused on each other, they're forgetting about me. And
Yep.
come finish time, guess what?
That's what it was.
You forgot about Io, and bang.
And not only come finish time did they forget about Io, I made a point of it saying in the predictions that there was going to be, they pushed it in the promo too much, and that was Bianca never being pinned at WrestleMania. And who was the one to get wrapped up? Bianca Belair.
Moments, man. Moments.
Io Sky picks up the win. Neither one of us picked her because...
We forgot about Io.
Yeah, we forgot about Io. Sorry, Io. You're phenomenal at what you do. We'll talk about Monday Night Raw here in a little bit.
Oh, buddy.
Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. Buddy, I will say this.
Still bored at work, LOL.
Still bored at work. I will have to go back and watch that match. But I am still sitting on my pedestal when I say there has not been a good street fight at WrestleMania.
I thought that was a solid Extreme Rules match, but it didn't feel like a street fight per se because they stuck so much in the ring.
Yep.
Which is, like let's call it what it is. No DQ matches are like items at a Mexican restaurant. It's the same like 6 ingredients. It's how we prepare them.
Yep.
So I mean, to say it wasn't a good street fight, but it was a good Extreme Rules match feels silly. But at the same time, there was so much of it in the ring. It felt like, to me, a street fight goes all over the place.
Right.
You're in the crowd. You're allegedly redacted. You go up on the stage. You go to the back. Like the street fight really should feel like it could end anywhere.
Yeah.
But nitpicks.
Absolutely nitpicks. Drew McIntyre picks up the win on that one. I picked Drew, you picked Priest. So right now the score sits at 6-5. Let me double check that. Yeah, 6-5. Buddy, we're getting close.
We're getting close.
We're getting close. We've got none other than the Fatal 4-Way for the Intercontinental title.
Ooh, buddy.
Pentagon or Penta, because trademarks. We've got Braun Breaker as champion, Finn Balor, and Dominic Mysterio. My God, I thought I had a joke pick. I thought there was no way in hell they were picking Dirty Dom to win this freaking match.
I'm just thinking like they're definitely putting this on Penta, and then if you watch the Raw after, they doubled down on we're not picking Penta. And boy, was I wrong and happy about it.
Ecstatic when it happened.
I mean, wow.
Because the thing is, it's one of those people that it's just fun to boo. Like he gets booed out of the building the moment he goes to take a microphone. But yet the moment he wins a title, the entire building erupts in cheers.
It's that thing that I've said about like Blake Christian in GCW. He went from the most beloved to the most hated, bang. He went from all heart to no heart in like a show.
Yeah.
And the fans went from he is our guy, we love him, to the building shakes when he comes out because they're booing so loud. Right. And Dom literally just flipped that of everyone hated him, but when he won that championship, they sent him back out.
I was going to say, if you want proof,
they're cheering so much for him.
They were expecting him to boo, so he dips. Starts walking up the ramp, and then I have a feeling the camera guy is just sitting there and going no, go, get back in there, get the crowd pop.
Somebody in production was like, get out there,
and he goes sprinting past Finn to go stand on that turnbuckle and hold the title up. Great for Dom. Once again, I thought it was a joke pick, and I ended up getting that one. So the score currently sits at 6-6, and buddy, we have 3 more matches.
Uh-oh.
We've got none other than Bailey Lyra versus Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, which Bailey, a promo package that we missed because apparently commercials on Peacock happened. And promo packages happen during the commercials.
commercials on Peacock apparently can take precedent over the storytelling at WrestleMania.
I'm confused.
I'm good if
I don't know how that happens.
I'm good if you do the whole like, hey, here's a recap of how we got here, and we don't see that because we're seeing a commercial because we don't want to pay the extra $5.
Yeah.
Fine, but like if you're doing the things that set the table
Right.
for the matches, like
Right.
instead of just kind of brief refresher,
Yeah.
you're doing something wrong.
So this comes twofold. Like we said, ladies and gentlemen, we posted on our Facebook that time, internet, editing, and life sometimes gets in the way. We are filming this 4 days after WrestleMania, a little bit longer than what we normally film. Like we said, night one is when Bayley got jumped.
Yep.
And there was no mention of commentary. There was we missed it because of commercials.
I think we found out because somebody saw it on Facebook at the watch party.
I saw it on Facebook at the watch party, and I had to say something.
Right.
But what it is now coming out about, I don't want to throw him underneath the bus because I love him to death. Chris Van Vliet did an interview with Bayley and put it out 2 days ago, and he was talking about how does it feel to like win the Royal Rumble and not go main event. And she's like, it's shitty, and she sits there for a second and goes, well, I mean, it'll come out after, but it's just a shitty situation sometimes that you have to deal with because of the company. Anyway, that's dirt sheets, bro. We don't talk about dirt sheets here.
I don't know if it's dirt sheets if the person says it themselves.
Well,
I mean,
but anyway, so Liv and Raquel come out. Lyra comes out in her It's Always Sunny chicken costume.
the birds of war.
And next thing we know, the man, Becky Lynch, comes back. Specifically like a week after she had a stand-up comedy bit where she was like, I'm never going back.
It's
folks,
wrestling.
it's
They're
wrestling.
never coming back until they are.
Yeah.
Terry Funk retired 87 times.
Too soon.
Gone but no forgotten, Funker.
Which now looking at this this notebook, I definitely marked as Lyra losing. And they definitely picked up the win because it was Becky.
Yep.
So, I mean, the score is still tied because we both picked Team Lyra,
Right.
7-7. But that's editing for you right there. Let's talk about the Randy Orton Open Challenge, folks. Because my God, has this started a rumbling.
Well, let me tell you, I love that we both have these things in our head of like this is what it's going to be, and then just one of our friends at the watch party, shout out Landon, pops up with the, do you think it'll be Joe Hendry?
Boom! Say his name just
immediately. It was like within a minute. I was like,
because we were sitting there and we were talking about our predictions.
We think we know wrestling.
I said, hey, I said it was Nick Aldis. You said it was Malachi, and of course, go figure. Like as soon as you say Malachi, Alistair, whoever they're going to call him now, someone was like, well, he's going to debut on SmackDown after, and just all of our moods dipped because we're like, no.
They aired that after I had made the pick.
Yeah, a lot happened on that SmackDown after.
I just kind of doubled down because, like, I've already said it. I'm not going to change it now.
Right.
I will say I'm kind of glad it wasn't. If he's getting this return, at SmackDown, he'll get the actual like blackout in the arena and not the
daylight blackout.
The daylight blackout. There's nothing scarier than daytime evil.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. A great 5-minute match.
Yeah.
A lot of people have said it's a squash. I love Hendry's response to those people. I believe it was on Busted Open where he said, "It is exactly what it needed to be." He had multiple people come up to him and say that is exactly what it needed to be, because at the end of the day, as TNA World Champion, Josh Alexander as World Champion was all about going on and putting out 5-star classics and putting out wrestling. That was Alexander as a TNA champion. Joe Hendry as a TNA champion is, I'm going to put as many eyes on this company as I can. And him going on the greatest stage of them all, WrestleMania, wearing the TNA World Championship, being called the TNA World Championship, and having the TNA World Champion lower third at WrestleMania.
And he got his offense in. He hit his finish on
He hit the standing ovation.
At Mania.
At Mania.
And Randy Orton kicking out at 2, I don't think is a bad thing to that. Like, I mean, you're literally like if they're looking at TNA as the developmental, as the next step up, as like the feeder system or whatever they're trying to call it. Like, okay, so the champion of the company for the guys that are like almost there didn't beat your guy. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. That means he's on his way up.
Right.
Like he's you know, and come on, we all love the moment of Joe turning to the camera and then RKO.
Yeah.
It was amazing. And then Orton doing the Joe Hendry turnaround.
Joe Hendry turn. Yep.
It was art. Come on.
It was great. None of us were right.
Still tied.
Which means we're still tied. 6-6. Going into the main event, WrestleMania Night 2. John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. And my God, did that man ruin professional wrestling. Folks, we have a 17-time world champion. You can't see him, and after this, you won't see him.
I love, one of my favorite things is watching the internet implode after anything.
Yeah.
And it's the thing of like you're sitting watching with people who are like, oh, I wish Cena would have done this. I wish he would have done that. It's like he literally told you he's not going to, and he told you why.
Yeah.
He came out in Brussels and said, like, you want to do music, you want to do gear, you want to do this, you want to do that. No, I'm not giving you that because that's what you want.
Yeah.
And John Cena coming out at WrestleMania with black screens with a white, like, impact font that just says John Cena. And that's it. It doesn't move. It doesn't blink. It is these screens, black. And when they're announcing him, his back is to the camera. The man is on another level right now. And I hate it in the best way.
He gets it, dude. He gets it.
I love it, man. He's going to ruin professional wrestling for everybody.
And he has, because I mean, we know John Cena talks too much. We know it happens.
There's a segment
but
about it.
The fact that, in my opinion, it was more obvious that he was making calls. Like, I see y'all making fun of me. I'm going to do it for real this time.
Yeah.
Like, why is it that he's making calls straight to hard cam and like bah 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 when he's making those calls? Like, because he's ruining professional wrestling.
He's seen Botchamania. It's like, oh, I talk too much? Gotcha.
Got it. Yeah, man. It's nuts. And it was a great main event. It was a great way to end Mania, in my opinion. Get the heel boos out of the building.
And you know what? Travis Scott took a pretty damn good crossroads.
I did not see that coming. Crossroads. And then,
when Cody hooked him, I was like, oh no, we're about to watch a man die.
And then the low blow was great. A canon event in children's lives. Lol, Cena wins. They finally understand it, and they're heartbroken over it.
2 for 2 on nut shots in WrestleMania main events for 41. Both main events had nut shots.
I guess it's kind of 3 for 3, but it's just if you're counting.
Yeah, I mean we had 3 low blows in the main events of WrestleMania both nights. Like, what's happening?
Yep.
It's wrestling is nuts right now, folks.
It's ridiculous. Buddy, we both picked John Cena.
We sure did.
Which means the score is 7-7. Now you might be wondering, does that mean we both do punishments? Does that mean we're both off the hook? Does that mean we just do a rock, paper, scissors right here and now? Dylan, what do you think?
Well, buddy, I've been having a thought.
Oh?
And I know we are fans of wrestling on the whole. We love wrestling, but I think there's one company that's a little more near and dear to our hearts.
Oh, really?
And I think we have a show coming up soon, so I think it's time we go Double or Nothing.
Double or Nothing just seems really, really harsh, in my opinion.
Oh?
It just seems real, like, just Double or Nothing. You know what? No. I'm going all in. I'm going all in. Because, ladies and gentlemen, it is here where we announce the Victory Roll Wrestling YouTube channel will be in attendance for All In Texas. We will be somewhere in those seats. Don't ask me where. I have the tickets. I just don't know where they are. But we will be there, and we will be recording at least some footage live. Most likely the recaps from our hotel room outside the venue. We haven't quite decided. We're going to see how things work when we're there that weekend. But we will be in All In Texas. The next predictions video, the next hardcore predictions and punishment videos lined up are going to be at All In Texas. So don't miss it. We're going to be there. It's going to be great. I think Ospreay and Mox are going to go tear down the house. And if it's not Ospreay and Mox, I'm selling my tickets. So if you want to, give me a call.
If we don't get Omega and Okada after we've been teasing it so hard,
it's got to happen. It's got to happen. Okada, Omega's 4, 5, 7, 12.
Make it
I don't
28.
know.
I don't care.
Make it 28. Make it happen. And make 4 through 28 happen that night. I don't care. But super quick, let's talk about Raw after Mania because we are that far in this.
Sure.
Great Raw, in my opinion.
Fantastic.
And we had the connection of the Dangerous Alliance once again. The new Dangerous Alliance, that's where my opening joke came from. Braun Breaker. So we were sitting on the couch, me and my wife, watching it, and I was like, it's weird. She said, it's weird that they're going straight to Penta to challenge Dom for the title again on Mania. She's like, wouldn't it make sense if the old champion got challenged? And I was like, it would. I don't know why they didn't do it. And then the main event rolls around, and here comes Braun Breaker. Boo-ba-doo-ba-doo. It's not even the main event. It was a promo to end the night.
Which you could tell you've got something.
It's something.
It was the little things that they were doing. I think I said earlier in the weekend when Braun cuts the Steiner Math promo, like, they're going to make me like Braun Breaker whether I want to or not. And seeing him hit that spear on Roman and then toss Roman in and hold Roman's hair while Seth curb stomps CM Punk, I was just like, they're making me like this dude whether I want to or not. This thing that they have with Seth and Heyman and Breaker and whoever else, it's going to be something.
It could be Becky Lynch, because Becky Lynch turns heel on Lyra. I mean,
come on.
I like, in my opinion, in a segment that didn't seem as planned out as it should be, because there was a lot of, I'm going to punch you, and then not a lot of selling. So it was kind of weird. But anyway, we had Dom retain the Intercontinental title. JD McDonough's back after a punctured lung.
I don't know where the Judgment Day is finding like these miracle healing elixirs that Carlito gets murdered on Mania and he's back, and JD like destroyed himself not that long ago and is just alive and well. Man. Yeah. Sign me up for that.
Monday Night Raw, if you didn't watch it, go check it out. It was a lot of fun. But folks, we say it pretty much every episode. What a time to be a wrestling fan.
I mean,
it's insane. It is absolutely crazy. We just got back from AEW New Orleans. That was nuts. That'll be another thing we talk about later, I feel. Stay tuned to this page or the Alex Braddock page for that.
I feel like I could go 30 minutes on the collective Mania weekend alone. There's so much going on in wrestling.
There's a lot.
So
I mean, if you don't know anything about the collective, go watch any of those shows because they were all great.
GCW, Progress, DDT. I think Defy had some stuff in there.
Stardom had one.
Stardom had one.
Yeah.
A lot of major independents coming together and just unreal matchups.
Yeah.
Wrestling is on fire right now.
Wrestling is on fire. But folks, if you enjoyed what you've seen, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And folks, we'll be in All In Texas. So if you're interested, give us a shout. Maybe we'll figure something out. Maybe when we film our reactions, we'll have fans there. No, we won't. But, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Alex Braddock. Joining me as always,
Dylan Gilbert.
And whether it's been a good morning, a good afternoon, a good evening, or good night, Mania was stupid, and we just recapped it.
starting to think we should quit the fucking business.